one key aspect of that is to completely 100% without exception respect my children's right not to be touched if they don't want to. That means that when we have friends and family coming over, if my children don't feel like kissing or hugging, that is completely acceptable, and I will never force them or insist so that they go and kiss somebody that they don't feel like they should kiss. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Soraya, I'm a mother of two, and here on this channel I post 3 to 4 times a week about my journey through motherhood. So in today's video, I want to talk about a topic that is very important to me, and that is how I teach my children about body integrity. My children are 1 and 3 years old, but I strongly believe that just like I, as a parent, should be respecting their bodies from birth, they should learn to honor and respect their own bodies, to voice their needs and their discomfort, and to respect each other's bodies as early as possible. So before I get started, let's talk a little bit about body integrity and what that actually is. Body integrity is the right for every human being, including children, to autonomy and self-determination over their own bodies. That means they have the right not to be touched if they don't want to. Basically, it's the right that all of us have to be free of acts against our bodies which we did not consent to. And so when it comes to children, it could go from something as benign as piercing a little girl's ears when she's still a baby and she obviously can't consent to it yet, to keeping their bodies healthy and free of toxic substances, all the way to acts of extreme violence like physical violence or sexual violence against children. So there's a couple of things that I do to teach my children body integrity so that they grow up feeling empowered, knowing that they are the boss of their own bodies, they get to decide, they have the right not to be touched if they don't want to, and also so that they learn to respect other people's bodies and that they should also respect when someone doesn't want to be touched. The first thing is that we as parents set up an example. What does that mean? That means that when I feel uncomfortable with something, I say it. And when I'm doing this, I am teaching my children that it is okay and normal and acceptable to say when something makes us feel uncomfortable. So when my children are hurting me or making me feel uncomfortable or touching me in an area of my body that I don't want to be touched, because at their age they don't know yet about intimacy, so they won't necessarily be careful about where they are touching. So when they're doing something like this, I will say it, I will be gentle, and I will explain that this makes mommy feel uncomfortable, I don't like it when you do that, it hurts me, or it's just something that I don't like and I would like you to not do it anymore. The other thing is that we as parents show our children every day that we respect each other and that we respect each other's bodies. What does that mean concretely? It means that when I say no to something, my husband listens immediately and respects what I'm saying. When he says no to something, I respect what he's saying, I respect his personal space, I respect his body integrity. And this is the same for boys as well as girls, but if you think about girls in particular, they will learn from how their daddy treats their mommy how they should expect to be treated as women, right? So if daddy does things to mommy that mommy doesn't want, this is what they are learning is okay. So it's incredibly important that we as parents continuously show our children that we respect each other's bodies, but also that we respect our own bodies. And so what does that mean? That means that we honor our bodies, we take care of ourselves, we treat our bodies with love and respect, and we love ourselves just the way we are. That means that I will never look in the mirror and say in front of my children, I feel ugly, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm too skinny, my hair looks bad. I will never bring myself down and criticize my own body in front of my children. Instead, I will always try to reflect on them body positivity and show them that your body is worthy of love and respect no matter what it looks like. And I also mentioned a little bit earlier self-care, and that's also very, very important. I think it is truly key to show your children that you respect your own body and that you are taking good care of your own body. And now we're really getting into the heart of the subject, which is teaching my children about body autonomy. And so that includes, the right not to be touched if they don't want to, but also the right to express their needs and their body's needs and to be respected, and for me to listen to what they have to say about how they feel and what they want for their bodies and what they need. So one key aspect of that is to completely 100% without exception respect my children's right not to be touched if they don't want to. That means that when we have friends and family coming over, if my children don't feel like kissing or hugging, that is completely acceptable, and I will never force them or insist so that they go and kiss somebody that they don't feel like they should kiss. And so I'm of course insisting that they say hello. I expect them to show good manners and to say hello, but I don't expect them to give a hug or touch if they don't feel like it. And it's the same for me. If I'm coming home from work and I'm dying for a cuddle with my babies because I've missed them so much, but they don't feel like it, I will not only not force them, but also I will not insist. I will straight away respect. I'm not making a big deal out of it. I am moving on immediately to the next thing. And the reason why it is so important not to insist is that, number one, you're teaching them that it is completely normal and acceptable, and that they should voice it when they don't feel comfortable with something or when they don't want something, and that it will be accepted and that there's nothing wrong with it. Number two, which is equally as important, because they are learning how to behave by looking at your own behavior, they are also learning that when someone else doesn't want to be touched, that they should respect it and that they shouldn't insist. You are teaching your little boys and little girls that when they grow and as they grow and once they are adults, that when somebody says no, it means no, and that it should be respected without question. Another thing which I think is absolutely key is to teach our children to voice how they feel and to express what they need and to put words on their emotions. And I'm doing this as part of a wider goal to teach my children to understand their own emotions and to self-regulate. But also when it comes to body integrity, I think it is essential to help our children voice what they want or don't want, and voice what they need or don't need, and to show them that we respect what they are expressing, we accept it, and we as parents completely take on board what they have expressed and take it into account when we are making decisions. So, for example, this might mean that we let our children express when they are hungry and when they are not hungry. Very often I have there's a time around which I'll ask Emma if she's hungry and if she wants to eat. But if she tells me that she's not hungry right now, I respect that, and I will wait a little bit later to offer her lunch again. So I might wait another half an hour and then ask her again after half an hour if she's hungry. And although to me it's really important that we have family meal times all together and that I very much implement that every day in my house, but I do try to respect as much as possible how my children feel. And so I might adapt the time that we as a family have lunch or dinner depending on how hungry my children are. But also when she's in front of her plate, I never force her. If she tells me that she's not hungry, I don't force her, and I will try to offer her some alternatives, but I will not force her to eat, never. The other thing is that I respect when Emma tells me that she feels too hot or that she's not cold, no matter how I feel. By doing this, I'm showing Emma that she's the best person to know what she needs and what her body needs. She's the best person to know whether she feels too hot or too cold and whether she needs to wear her cardigan or she doesn't. And I try to listen to what she tells me and respect it as much as possible. And if she tells me that she doesn't feel cold and she doesn't want to wear her cardigan, I don't insist. If we're going out and I feel like she's going to be actually cold when we get outside, I will take her jacket or her cardigan with me and I will pack it until she asks for it, and I will offer it again if I feel like it's getting a little bit chilly. And if she does feel cold, she will tell me. If you're constantly ahead of their needs and trying to predict how they're gonna feel and what they're gonna need, and force them to eat because they're gonna get hungry soon, or wear a cardigan because it's gonna be cold outside. You are not giving them a chance to really listen to their own bodies and express what they need. So really it's about teaching her to listen to herself and to know, oh, actually I didn't feel cold earlier when mommy asked me if I wanted a cardigan, but now I feel a bit chilly. And you will see that they will very quickly start to voice their needs and to say what they want. And the last thing is to teach your children to respect each other's bodies. And so, of course, the first step is among family members, and in particular among siblings. So I've spoken a bit earlier about the right not want to be touched. And so, of course, that's also valid between siblings. If my daughter Emma, who is 3, wants to give my son Noah, who is 1, a cuddle, and he clearly isn't in the mood for a cuddle, I will tell her, you need to stop because he doesn't want a cuddle right now, so you can try again later, but right now he's not in the mood, and you've got to respect that. You've got to listen to what he's saying. The other thing is becoming aware that we each have some intimate parts in our bodies that we don't want to be touched and that shouldn't be touched. So sometimes my daughter Emma, she sees me changing her brother and she's so interested and she actually wants to help and participate, and she wants to help me change his diaper. And although I will let her do certain things, like I will let her take out the wipes, and I will let her take the little nappy bag to the bin, and I will let her do other things, like I will let her help me feed him, but actually cleaning him is something that I never let her do. And something that is really key is to explain why I'm not letting her do it. And I have explained to her that some parts of our bodies are intimate and no one is allowed to touch it except ourselves, and sometimes mommy needs to touch to help clean, or if there's any pain in that area, but other than that no one is allowed to touch. And so she's really started to learn that and to integrate it, and to know that she's not supposed to touch her brother's intimate parts or her mom's or her dad's, and that also she should expect others to respect her intimate parts and to not touch her in that area. So these are all the things that I'm doing to teach my children body integrity. If you yourself are doing some other things, or if you have some other ideas, or if you know of some other elements that are important, please do let me know in the comments below, as I think it's so interesting for all of us to share our experiences and our knowledge on issues like this. It's not easy being a parent and trying to navigate, especially, sensitive subjects like these ones. So please do share your experiences in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss one of my videos. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!